Guys, welcome back. Today we have our victim today is an '04 Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is in relatively good shape, especially considering we're in the Rust Belt. Customer complaint is steering feels, and I quote, "Front end is loose on the highway, has a lot of play." This is This is going to kind of be a repeat of how to check a front end. It's been done, it's been redone, and we're going to do it again. Only because it's got a slight little twist. Actually, it's a good example of something I always say when asked what's the best way to check the front end. Every way. Kind of like how Keith coined the phrase when people ask him what's the best scan tool, he says all of them. Kind of the same thing. You know, do we do this way? Do we check it? Do we put a pry bar? Do we yes, 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 and yes. Do we load the suspension? Do we unload the suspension? Yes, do it both ways. Why? Because tie rod ends, ball joints, a bushing, whatever it is. You have, let's say, a ball joint sitting in a socket. Sometimes that play will show itself when it's loaded, sometimes when it's unloaded, and you get that bounce. Sometimes you'll get that typical 6 and 12 play. Sometimes, for some reason, it's a 5 and 11. So, let me show you real quick what I'm talking about. Then we'll show you why this thing is going to turn into a bigger job. Okay, so the standard check, I guess, right? 3 and 9, we give it a pull, push, pull. It feels great. 6 and 12, it feels great. Normally, we would put this down low enough where it's just a little bit off the ground, stick a bar underneath, and lift the wheel up and down. Two issues. One, sometimes you rock the whole vehicle and it's hard to tell if it's the wheel or if it's the vehicle. Two, I'm working by myself. So even if I get the wheel to move, I can't see on the inside to see what's moving unless I have a helper here. Or I want to set up a camera, which is ridiculous, right? So that's the two things. Also keep in mind this is a solid axle. If it had an independent suspension with upper level control arms, you'd want to check it with and without jack stands under the front end, like I said, loading and unloading the suspension. So it feels good up and down, in and out, both sides. Let's go underneath and I'll show you what I'm talking about. See, here comes my helper now. He wasn't here a few minutes ago though, so I had to do it by myself. Morning, young man. Alright, let's see if I can set this up where it kind of makes sense. So we shake the tire back and forth, we see nothing. Left, right, up, down. And even if you do feel a little play and then you're by yourself, if there's a little play in the wheel, you can't tell where it's coming from because you can't see both sides of the tire. I use the old channel locks. And I'm going to start off, let me move this camera a little bit. We're going to start off with this tie rod end because we shook it and it felt fine. And I don't know if I can get this on camera. I hope I can. Let me change that a little bit. I'm trying to do this on the fly. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. We're going to move it. We're going to move it. We're going to... There you go. Now you can see it. Let me get a better light even. Let's move this light up just a hair. That tie rod is bad. How much play is acceptable? None really. I mean, guys will argue that one, but that really shouldn't have any play at all. I'm gonna move over. Oh, I'm gonna knock the camera over is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna move this over right to that lower ball joint right there. We're gonna move the lighting a little bit if we can. I'm gonna open these all the way up. I'm gonna stick this right in here. Make sure you can see that. Hope you can see that. There you go, lower ball joint. Upper ball joint is moving as well. I can see them both. So, other side, same thing. Just for the sake of it, I move it to the other side. We'll check both sides so you can see both sides. There's a lower ball joint. Pan that out. Nothing more than sticking a channel lock, big set of channel lock in there and squeezing it. So, same thing, all the way out. Outer tie rod's doing the same thing. The outer tie rod section of the drag link. We also have that bushing. They actually look like they changed the arms, but the bush, they didn't change the bushing. Let me see if I can get this. It'd be super cool if I can get it. Can I get that light in there? That bushing, I know I'm shaking, I'm sorry, I'm zoomed all the way in. That bushing is cracked right there, which is allowing the whole differential unit to move. But so in and out of tie rods, that other tie rod for the drag link, upper and lower ball joints. But and here's where it comes to the home run. Here's where I knock stuff over. That is the shot. That is the lower link mount, rotted. Spring perch is rotted. So, all in all, what's the moral of the story? What's the moral? The moral is check on the front end. Check it. Don't check it just one way. Don't stick to traditional. I'll just shake it and it's good. I'll put a screwdriver. Check it all the different ways. Load it, unload it, squeeze it with a pair of channel locks. And yes, I did see the rust before I checked the other stuff. However, with the possibility of this gentleman wanting to fix it, I want to do a full estimate. So rather than say, well, it needs a rear end, we're done, he may go, okay, how much is the rear end? What else does it need? So I check everything. It needs ball joints, tie rod ends, the bushings, depending if I get a rebuilt unit, it'll probably come with those bushings. If not, I'll have to rebush it, so I have to look it up both ways. But that's it. This is multiple ways to check a front end. How to check it by yourself, unless my helper comes home on time and they can help me out. But if not, give them a little squeeze. That's it, guys. Thank you. That was quick. I just wanted to show you that. Thought it was interesting. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. Hope everybody's well. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.